Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to talk to a very successful pastor who'd got a different calling. He got called to run for Congress. The great Dr. Freddy Haynes is in the studio. His journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
So I met my next guest in the 90s. I was a reporter at Channel 4, and I met the great Dr. Freddy Haynes, senior pastor at Friendship West Baptist Church in the 90s. And I remember thinking to myself, this is the next MLK. And he has enjoyed tremendous success in the pulpit and leading his flock. Now he wants to lead the country by running for Congress. Dr. Freddy Haynes, thanks for coming on the show.
Man, thank you for having me. This today brings back so many memories. My favorite, though, as we discussed earlier, was when you told the story as the storyteller you are, and I really appreciate that about you. Your journalism has always majored, from my perspective, in telling stories, especially for those who didn't necessarily get their stories told. And so and there's a book on my coffee table about those who were exonerated under former DA Craig Watkins. Yes. And I remember when, you came to church with them. And that's, again, one of my favorite church memories, but it's also a favorite memory because, again, a story was told for those who perhaps didn't have a voice. Mm-hmm. And so I want to thank you for always using your storytelling ability to give voice to the voiceless.
Thank you. Such an honor. Much more from Dr. Haynes in a minute. We found this video when you first made the announcement. Let's go ahead and roll this.
A busy day in politics across North Texas. Dallas pastor Freddy Haynes, who's running for Congress, is holding his first campaign event right now in Dallas. The megachurch leader hopes to fill the safe Democratic seat held by Jasmine Crockett. She's running for U.S. Senate. Fox 4 Stephen Dial just spoke to Haynes and joins us live. Stephen.
Clarice, Pastor Haynes is wrapping up his rally right now. He's no stranger to talking politics at Friendship West Baptist Church. Now he's hoping to transition from the pulpit to Congress. He told me a recent health scare made him more aware and more focused on health disparities in Texas District 30.
It's one thing to be on the outside looking in and talking about how things are. It's another thing to get in the fight, and I'm here to get in the fight and make things happen.
What made you, after all these years, now say, I should get in the other side and be an elected official, not just talking to your congregation and others?
Right. Well, it's a part of the extension of public service that my life has been characterized by. I'm not new to public service. I've tried to be true to it. And so as a consequence, I'm simply taking and extending the pulpit and platform to Washington, D.C.
Some people may ask, you took some time off from the pulpit. How are you feeling?
As a matter of fact, I feel better today than I did before I had surgery in September. I had a wonderful team of doctors, a tremendously gifted surgeon, and again, I saw up close and personal both how expensive health care is as well as how necessary affordable health care is for everyone. And so that was a part of what also opened my eyes to this reality. I had a certain privilege because of good health care that too many don't have.
Now, Texas District 30 has been led by a Democrat since its inception in 1993. Experts say even though this district was redrawn, it is expected to still stay in Democrat hands.
All right, I want you to take me back to that decision to run, because the life that you have led to date is different than serving the public through Congress. How difficult a decision was it? Did your health scare play a role in this decision to run?
It was a difficult decision because, as I said to my family and to the church, it's not a me thing, it's a we thing. I have a family that I had to consider, as well as the church. And really, it was a combination of two callings, I believe. The call of the community. The community really, there were people in the community who really insisted that I run. And they pushed and they pulled and they prayed and challenged me to pray myself, as I shared with you. And then I really had to think about my own call to conscience in light of what's happening in the world, in this nation, as one of the leading nations in the world. What do I need to do to throw my hat in the ring and make a difference? And so it was just very important to me that I not stand on the sidelines. I've always been active. My ministry has been characterized by public service beyond the walls of the church. I've never limited my concept of ministry to what happens on Sunday morning. But it's always been, okay, there is worship and then there's work after worship. And so that public service, that desiring to minister to those who are on the backside of life, who have their backs against the wall, to use the language of Howard Thurman, that's been my calling. And so to have the opportunity now to expand possibilities of reaching and lifting and transforming systems that put people with their backs against the wall, that for me is something I finally had to yield to.
All right, we're going to show some video from you at Friendship West. You're a very prominent pastor. Who doesn't know Dr. Haynes? You're going into a different arena, and this arena can be unpleasant. I mean, politics is kind of a dirty game.
No question.
You had things really good. You're kind of winding down. You're thinking about possibly retiring and teaching. You're doing something kind of fun. Are you being called to serve in this way?
Right, and that's the only way I can explain this. This is a calling. And whatever else I've discovered about callings and a sense of purpose, there's always discomfort. And I was enjoying the comfort zone of pastoring and getting ready to move into other areas where I could write and teach and things of that nature. So I was hyped about, this next chapter being comfortable.
Yes.
And that's never been my ministry.
Yes. Well, I made the analogy of you and Dr. King earlier in this broadcast. Dr. King was having a message to the world that was uncomfortable for the world to hear. I mean, is that the kind of calling that you feel like you're being led to, is to mix things up a little bit?
No question. Especially in this time, I think that we're in a political climate that is not only toxic but oppressive. Political climate that has made Maya Angelou's phrase so unfortunately real, these yet to be United States. This country has so much potential if we become, as Dr. King said, true to what we said on paper. And that can't take place until there is justice for all. That can't take place as long as we are othering people and making some feel that they are up and in and others, you're down and out. That can't take place as long as, the country is too expensive for some people to afford because of those who can afford it, making it expensive because they get benefits from those expenses. So for me, it's very important that we bring a moral voice to Congress, a moral voice to Washington, D.C. I'm not saying that there are no moral voices there. I'd like to add my unique moral voice to the conversation, because the sad reality is this country's greatness is always going to be predicated on a sense of morality. And I'd like to bring that. So I'm not trying to go there to proselytize, but I am going there with principles.
Are you hopeful that we can somehow become the United States again?
Oh, without question. I believe with that with all my heart. I am of that ministerial ilk that is always pushing for the best in the midst of the worst. I come from a ministerial tradition that whenever everything looked just dark and dim, you know, Martin Luther King Jr. declares, I have a dream, but there's a nightmare of circumstances and policies that is the context for that dream. And he got that line from a sister preacher, Prathia Hall, who was in Southeast Georgia at the time where the church had just been burnt down. And in prayer, she says, I have a dream. And so that's the tradition I come from, where we are always dreaming and hoping, no matter how bad things may be.
Dr. Haynes, we have about a minute left, so I want you to look into the camera on the left and talk to the voter. We're coming up on, when do people get to early vote?
That February the 17th through February the 27th is early voting. March 3rd is the election. Please, voting is our opportunity to hire persons to work for us. I am doing interviews. I am in the community because it's just like being hired. And I want to make sure that I am the best person that you hire for this job so I can be accountable to those who hire me. If you are concerned about affordability, if you're concerned about living in a country where justice for all is not just a motto, but it's something that we live out, if you are determined that we end the war on each other and the war on our communities, the war on our countries, I want to be that person for you who believes in peace and justice for all. And so I'm asking you, I've been an outsider all these years. I want to bring outside voices, your voices, vision and values in the house.
Wow. Amen. Preach. Right, we're out of time, but we're going to end with the website, which is HaynesForCongress.com. The great Dr. Freddy Haynes. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. My honor.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.